Today is our day 3 class of complete for Days AWS course, and the topic is AWS IAM. So this video will cover how to create a user, how to create a group, how to create a policy, how to create a role, and I'll show the hands-on. Before I do the hands-on, I will explain the theory. So before we start the video, just a quick reminder: if you haven't subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel, because after complete the 40 days course, I will also create DevOps and cloud related video that will help your career. So don't forget to subscribe the channel. So now let's start the video. So introduction to IAM. What is IAM? IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. So it is the AWS service used to control who can access AWS resources and what action they can perform. Here I give some example. Who can create EC2 server, who can access EC2 server, S3 bucket, who can manage database. So these things we can define by IAM. So which user can do what thing, we can do this thing by IAM. So without IAM, anyone with access could control your entire cloud environment. So why IAM is important? IAM helps with security, access control, user management, and last privilege principle. So example, a company may have DevOps engineers, they have developers, and they have security team. So each team gets different permission. So if we want to define these three group, like DevOps engineer can create EC2, delete EC2, but developer group, we want only they can view, they can only see the EC2, but they don't have any permission to delete any EC2 or create any EC2. These things we do by IAM. So we will create some group and define some permission with this group, so that group only do that thing. So if we add in user in that group, that user can only do that thing. This thing we can do by IAM. So each team gets different permission. So IAM core components. So one component is user. So we'll create user, delete user, and give some permission to this user. So an IAM user represents a person or a application. So a IAM user could be a person or it could be an application. So example of user, it could be like dev user, admin user, and developer user. And we always try to give the name like that. We can identify what can do by this user. You can see this is name should look like it is a developer user, and admin dash user, you can see it is admin user, and developer dash user, we can also this way also. So each user get login credentials. So every user has login credential. They have username and they have password. So one thing is IAM group. So group help manage multiple users together. So instead of give any permission to any user, it's best we can create a group, then we can attach some permission to that group. So if we want to give any user to that permission, we just add that user to that group. That way we can manage our work smoothly. So group help manage multiple users together. Example of groups: developer groups, admin groups, read-only group. So developer group, like if we want to only view the EC2 user, so we create a user, we create a group developer, and in that group we will add some policy like these policies like view EC2 only, and one group will create admin and give the group admin full access, and read only look like some developer only view. So like if I create a user and add that user to that group, that user only view EC2. They don't have any access to delete or terminate the EC2. So instead of assigning permission to each user, you assign them to the group. I already told the thing. Another thing is IAM policy. Policy define permission. So by default, AWS have already created some permission. So if we want to do some custom permission, like if I want this user only start or delete this EC2 only, specific EC2. So this thing we can do by permission, and permission written by JSON format. Example like allow EC2 full access. Give the EC2 permission name look like this way. Then we can understand what permission will do these things. So policy defines action like create instance, stop instance, delete instance. So policy we can to look like this. We can create a instance, we can stop an instance, we can delete the instance. Another thing is IAM roles. So roles are used by AWS service or application. Here I put example like roles are look like this, like any service can do what service, like EC2 instance access S3 bucket. So we'll define a role like this EC2 can work with S3 from like this EC2 some data will save in that EC2. So this EC2 will access this S3. So AWS one service will access another service. This thing we will do by IAM role. So IAM best practices: never use root account for daily tasks. We will create an IAM user, then we'll give that user admin privilege, then we do our work. So don't use root user frequently. So use group to manage permission, follow latest previous principle, and always try to enable MFA. Now let me talk with hands-on. We'll do these things in demo. Before I do the what I step I follow in the demo, I also discuss this here. Like we'll go to the console, then type IAM, then you can see the IAM dashboard. Then in the left side menu, we'll see how to create a user. We'll go to user, then create user, then give a name and create a user, then give some password. Then we'll also show how to create a group. In the left side, you'll see group. We'll create a group, give a name, and give that group Amazon EC2 read only. So that group only can read the EC2. They don't have any option to terminate or delete. So we'll also think how to add a user to that group. So we'll create a user and add that user to that group. So we'll already create dev user. We'll also create a developer. So developer user will add in developer group. So then we can see which permission is attached to that developer group. Only do that thing by that user. So step 4 is we'll do the login by that user, and you can see that user only do that thing. So like if we add EC2 permission to create any EC2, so we can log in that user and you can create user. So after we remove that permission from that user, then you can see that user not able to create EC2. We will see those things in the hands-on. So same way as the IAM policy. IAM policies we need to return by JSON format. So this is example. All thing we can get in AWS documentation. So we need to put version statement, and here is a policies like effect allow means they can allow this EC2 service. So EC2 they can only describe instead, they don't any option. And here is this star means in AWS account all EC2 they can access. So like if I do any specific EC2, then I can put the EC2 ID here, then that policy only work only that EC2. This thing we do by policy. So explanation, this policy allow viewing EC2 instance only. So this policy only view that view only EC2. So in real world DevOps example is like DevOps team manager infrastructure service they manage include. So when you create a DevOps engineer, will create a group. That DevOps group can create EC2, Amazon S3 and RDS. They get full access of these things, so they can create, delete or anything. Developer only may get read access, so we'll give that developer group only read only access. So for your homework, it's best practice. You will create a user, then you will create a group, then create a policy and attach this policy to that group and add that user to that group, then log in that username and password, and you can see what user they can do what. Like if I give the EC2 permission, now try this user is create EC2 or delete EC2, what they can do. So you can see that user can create EC2 or delete EC2 if they have full EC2 access. So then you can remove the permission from that group, then try to create EC2 again, then you can see that user not able to do anything. Okay, so now we'll go to the AWS console and see everything in the hands-on. Now we are in AWS console panel main dashboard. So for going to IAM, you need to type IAM in the search bar and check this one. You can see from the left side menu we can create user, group, role, policy, everything. For now we are not to create a user first, so click the user, then you need to click the create user, you need to put the username, so dev1, and if you want to make this user able to log in from web console, then you need to check this one. Then if you want to make your username, password, everything by yourself, then select this one, I want to create an IAM user. Then if you want to choose your password by myself, then choose custom, then type your password. Then if you don't want to change the user, change his or her password after login, then make sure that you can do the uncheck on, then click next. Now if you want to add this user any group, you can choose from this here. So for my now we are just create the user only, click next, then create user. Here you can see the like created user details. From this URL you can able to log in, and this is the username and this is the password. If you want to see this password, just click the show. So let me go to the main dashboard again. So now we'll create a group. So creating group, you need to click user group, click create group, then put in a name like test1, then if you add any policy from here, you can add it from here. So for my one, you just like S3 read only, Amazon S3 read only access. So these are the like already AWS created some policy for us. We can also create ourselves also. So for now we are just selecting the S3 read only, then create group. So now if you click this group, you can click the permission, you can see which permission are added in this group. So now let go to the user again. So dev group, add user to group, to add the user in the test group. So these users are now added in the test group. Now let me log in that URL, copy this one, and make sure you open this in a private window or in a separate browser. So dev1, sign in. So this user only have access to see the S3, so that's why there will be everything showing the deny. You can see this user not able to see billing or something, that's why showing access denied, access denied. So you can put next. Now if you want to go S3, you can see this bucket is already created because we are giving this group or user S3 read only access, so that's why the user only able to see this. And if this user want to create a bucket, this user not able to create any bucket. Let me try 2027, it will throw a error. You can see fail to create the buckets because this user have no access to create the bucket. Okay, now if you go to the console again, so we already see how to create a user, how to create a group, and how to add a user to the group. Now we'll do a policy in documentation. I have already give a sample policy. This policy only able to see the EC2 but not able to create in EC2 or not able to see the EC2. So let me create a policy. So copy this one and go to the console again. Here is a policy. You need to click this one. Now create policy. Here you can see visual or JSON format. You need to go to JSON format and copy your selected one. So this user, this policy allow EC2 describe and get. Only this user able to see the EC2, but this user not able to create in EC2. So if you want to go back to visual again, you can see there is two actions selected. If you export this one, you can see EC2 describe and EC2 get. There is 215 option is there. So there is lots of other. Okay, so this user only able to access this EC2 describe and EC2 get. That means this EC2 this policy have only access to view the EC2. Okay, now click next. You need to give a name like test 2026. You can want if you any give in description. For now we are not giving anything. Now create policy. So this policy is created. So when you go to the policy, you can see the only policy is showing which AWS already created for us, and one thing which policy is created by AWS, you can see this icon here. You can see, and if you want to see your created policy, you need to go to the filter by type and choose the customer manage. Then you can see your created policy, and now we just created the test 2026. So we need to now add this policy to that group to effect to that user. So you need to go to the group again, click your group, then permission. You can see here is only one added. So add permission, you can select the attach policy. Same way you can choose the custom to get your one, selected your one, attach policy. So now if you go to that console, and you can see this user only able to view the EC2. Go to there. For going EC2, you need to type EC2. Let me change it Virginia. If you go to the instance running, instance, you can see there is no instance as running. So if you want to click EC2, you are not able to do that. So let me give a name A. Make it everything same because this user is not able to do. Or just click anyway. This user is not able to go to create the user. You can see this user is not able to create in EC2. So let me cancel this one. Now go to the admin console again to give that user to EC2 full access. Now we are the admin console. So same way we need to attach policy. EC2, if you type EC2, it will show all related policy which is EC2. So Amazon EC2 full access, give that one, attach policy. So now this group have access to create a EC2. So let me go back to the user console again. Now if you want to launch an instance, you can able to create a EC2. So let me put A1, choose this one. T2 micro is fine. Keep here, you just select this one. Security group, just this one. Okay, let me create EC2 now. You can see now we are able to create EC2 by this user because we are giving the EC2 full access permission to that user. Okay, now we'll go back to again to the console. So we already saw how to create a user, how to create a group, how to add this user to that group, how to add a policy to that group, and user will access that one. So now if you want to remove any policy, this user not able to do the thing. So if you want to delete it, is it full access again? So remove. Now if you go back to user console again, launch, just give a name. Launch. You can see you are not able to get the EC2 again. So this way you can add or remove any permission to that group. So now go to the admin console again. Now we'll see the role. Role is like if any as AWS service want to access another EC2 service, that thing is role. So let me create a role, then you can understand. So let's create a role. Here it's showing this role is already created. For creating a new role, you need to create the create role. Then you need to choose the service. For AWS service, we want to choose EC2. I want to create a role like EC2 access S3. So which service using this, you need to choose that one. Then go to next. Now we need to choose EC2 access which service. I want to access S3. So click that one. Next, you give a name, tab 2026 S3 access create role. So now we want to do like which EC2 I already created. That EC2 want to access the service. So let me open that one then. So we create that one. Let me log in that EC2. Copy this ID. So we are in that EC2. If you type AWS TLS, you can see credential is not added. So we need to create and add a credential here. So let me go to the IAM console. So this is our user. So let me return to user list. Continue. So this is our user. Go to the user and click security credentials. Then you need to create access key. You need to click this one. Command line interface CLI. Select that one. Yes, I understand. Next. If you want to give a description, we don't need. So we already create a username. which is called in AWS access key, and the password is secret access key. So let me copy that one and go to the console and configure that one. It will ask the access key, type this one, copy the secret access key, then you can put none. Now if you type it, say ls, here is showing this user can access. So this user able to access this because we are added that policy to this group. So let me remove that policy from that user, then you can see this user not able to see. So we are in the admin console now. So let me click your group test1, go to the permission, and you can see Amazon S3 read only. So let me remove that one. And if you go to the console now, you can see access denied. Now we need to add this role, then you can see this user can EC2 can access S3. So let me go to the EC2 again. Running instance. Click that one. Action, security, modify IAM role. Click that one. I can see you created one. Select the dev 226 which I created. Update IAM. Now go to the console again. Before do that, you need to remove the credential. ls-la. Our credential is stored in this folder, so we need to remove this one. We'll see details when we see the AWS CLI class. Now sometimes it will take a little bit time, so let me try. You can see the bucket now, and now this is working from the role. For role can access this, so EC2 access S3. So this way we can create role also. So let me documentation. So we'll so how to create user, how to create a group, how to create a policy, and how to create a role, and we already see everything in hands-on. So if you need to go to the console, these are the IAM console. So group, user, role, policy. These are the main thing of IAM section. So I hope you like this video. If you found this video is helpful, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this channel. In the next video, I will show you details of EC2, so how to create EC2, how to create SSH, how to create a security group, everything we'll cover in the next video. So up to that video, best of luck, bye.